speaking of your MMA journey, what exactly prompted you to actually start it? Was it like a friend? Did you see a fight? Did somebody bring you into the gym to start out? What got your MMA journey started?
I always like training martial arts. I'm started judo with 7 years old,
Uh,
and it's like kind of like natural like way. When I'm like do like my transition like judo for jiu-jitsu, and my jiu-jitsu gym have a lot MMA fighters, and my coach always talk with me. Like I think you have like perfil like for fight MMA. I'm like, no, I don't have no perfil like for punch to the face. It's not for me. But he like, oh, I need to try. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And the first time I step in the cage, I'm like, whoa, I like that. I kind of like that. So it's kind of natural. And I never watched too much MMA to be honest, but I always watch a lot and follow like all the things about like grappling. So a lot of people still like the judo people start like make the transition to MMA. So this make me feel like more natural this process too.
yeah, did Ronda Rousey have any influence? Obviously, she was the main judo practitioner that transferred over to MMA and had a lot of success.
Yes, yes, that's exactly. And to be honest, like I look for more like example like close to me. So we have like Leo Leite, the GA trained Luana Pinheiros and that time Pinheiro, like she strawweight and UFC too. And that time she's trained there too. So it's another like judo person, like I talk about judo person like close to me, like in
Yeah.
Brazil, they make this transition. So uh this make me like more easy and like feel more comfortable and make this transition.
Yeah, I mean, you made the transition obviously very, very well. And the beginning of your MMA career, you started out with two submission wins, obviously using that judo to get it to the ground and just take them out pretty quickly. But I want to talk about that third fight because it is aged absolutely amazingly with your win against Karine Silva. With her, I mean, never losing again since she has fought you. Does that give you any more motivation? She's now in the top 15 of the women's flyweight division. Does this give you motivation that you know you can compete in the top 15 and possibly compete for a title in the future?
Of course, I'm pretty like confident about like my skills and who I am. I know how hard I work every single day. So yes, I'm pretty confident I can be in like in 2 years or less and like in the top 50 in the division. Karina is a really like tough athlete. She's really good. She have a really good skill. I'm proud to fight with her. Like and back the time, and I'm waiting for fight with her or any ladies in like the top 15 division like anytime.
I was looking after your three fight win streak, of course. You had a few cancellations during your career before joining the UFC, where obviously you had an opponent and then they it got switched around really quickly. What is it like? Because I know some fighters are like, I'm just gonna focus on myself and not worry about my opponent. Some people really focus on their opponent and watch the film. How do you navigate like a switch of opponents like that?
So this is like really tough. Like I have a lot of cancellation. I have a lot of fights like don't come like for topology things like that. And I have fight and the ladies pull out or just like sign the fight or does it have. This happen a lot. This make like my journey like in MMA like pretty hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. Like when I compete in judo, jiu-jitsu, like every single month you can fight like competing like 2 3 times.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I have one regular schedule. Is so good for me, like in whole like my life, and work pretty well. So like it's really tough, but like you say, like I take all this time when I have constellation, things like that, for think about like more myself about like to be like better, better and better and better because my transition for MMA is like so fast.
Yeah.
So if you take like record and everything, it's pretty like really pretty fast. I'm like having zero like strike when I start MMA,
Yeah.
zero. Like my first fight, I have like probably like 2 months like train strike. It's like it's crazy. Now I look like back and I'm like, whoa, what
Yeah.
what I just like did is hard. But maybe this like cancellation make me like have like more time for work my MMA.
Yeah. Have you ever? I know this is kind of a topic nowadays. With I mean, there's a lot of people going into fights with injuries. Obviously, you saw McGregor pull out with his injury. Some fighters go into it with them. Some fighters just cancel from the fight. Have you ever been in a situation where you kind of had to weigh the options, where you're like, I got something really, really hurt here, but I feel like I don't want to waste time. I want to get this fight done, and further my career. Have you ever been in that type of situation?
Yeah, for all my life, who like fight judo, people know that. But for MMA, my last fight, my debut, I deal with like shoulder injury. I have this shoulder injury in my camp. It's like I think about like I can sleep for like almost 3 weeks because I have like no position, hurt too much. I can't like lift my hand, my arm. It's really tough to be honest, but never pass in my mind like pull out the fight. It is like it was a possibility, but all the like the doctors or like PT people like talk to me like, "It's your body. You need like know your body. You can deal with that." I'm like, it's so painful.
Yeah,
I have like the last 5 6 weeks before my fight because I know like my fight like 12 weeks before, so like I have a pretty good time for like everything. But I feel like my shoulder like 6 week or 5 weeks like before my fight, and I'm
yeah,
like, damn, whatever like we do, but never pass in my mind pull out the fight. Of course, we have injuries, and like people's are kind of different. I know my body. I train with a lot pain, and I try think about like I will hold this if I can hold this the train like I can hold the fight. So I put myself in the position like train and feel uh everything, and like when I go to the fight I will feel like hurt, but I know I feel this before. I know how to deal with that. So this is my like strategy. Like this is what I think about in my fight. But of course, I'm like all respect for like people's pull out the fight because it's tough. It's tough. I don't know if I have like another situation like one big risk. It is a big risk, my debut,
yeah.
but it's my hometown. I have a lot of things to. So a lot of things like motivation, like and mental. Like in that time, I'm like I have one really like strong mentality for like go for this fight. Doesn't matter like how hurt, like how much like her pain I have. So
I know some fighters say like they go into the fight with the injury, of course, but once they're in there, like one round passes by and a lot of fighters say they completely forget about it. Was that the case with you?
to be honest, no, I feel
No?
like this injury like the things got like more painful like the second like the end the second round for the last round. So but
Yeah,
like when I arm up all the week every single day, these make me remember like yeah I'm here because like it's so painful. I can tell
right.
like for sleep is hard, for everything is hard. Like now is much better. Now I can talk to you is like 95%. I'm like, I'm ready to go. So what I feel like before in my fight, I'm like so far away. I'm like, I'm so glad right now. I'm like, I'm doing better. But yeah, like we talk about like one start like the body start arm up, you're like you feel like, yeah, I don't feel so much. But in that point, I'm like, I feel a lot. So the last round, I go for the last round. I'm like, I can hold like my arm. I I just like, okay, I need like use my legs. I need rock around the like the cage, like try push, but like this is the thing. I need like make distance from her, like use my front arm is so hard.
Yeah.
And if I try with back hard, she would touch me. I'm like, okay, I need to think about everything. Now I need like use my legs. I'm like, if I stop in front of her, yeah, it's bad for me. I'm like a target, like like. But I think just like if I move, she can touch me, but it's hard for like knock me down if like she have like no, I'm no stop in front of her. So like it's hard, but you need to think about everything like in seconds and like inside the cage.
Yeah, I mean that's massive respect. Anybody watching this to go into a fight with that type of injury that's affecting you the whole entire fight is obviously respectable. And it still turned out to be a good risk on your part because you were able to get the win in your hometown and get the unanimous decision. It was a good fight. I do have to say, are you ever? I know some fighters go in the cage specifically looking to get a bonus, specifically looking to get a fight of the night, and some people are like, if it comes, it comes. If I get the early finish and get the bonus, cool. I got the bonus. Are you ever in there like round one? You're thinking about maybe I need to do this and this to get the bonus. Or are you just seeing if it comes throughout the fight?
To be honest, like I'm just like flow. I'm if I have a good opportunity to finish the fight, I will.
Yeah,
I look for win. If bonus is like you say, like bonus is a bonus. Like if
yeah.
come like good, is that was good. Like extra money is good, especially when you have like the hard life we have. Especially when you go like you really like fight for life. Uh, so like no, for me it's like I won't finish the fight, of course. And right now, like day by day, I believe more and more. Like I'm more confident in my hands too, and like I expect to finish the fight like with my hands or like submit. So if extra come, it's good.
I do want to talk about before you were in the UFC. There was a little portion there where you had a really long break between fighting. It
Mhm.
was between your first loss and your second loss. I wanted to
Uh-huh.
ask what was the reason for the break, and then how did you end up like? Because obviously, two losses is a really hard thing to go through. But
Uh-huh.
how did you use that to come back and obviously join the UFC and have great success after?
To be honest, like we try get fight for me is like no fight, no opponent. Like sound like I come for a loss and like we have really hard time like for find opponent and like of course COVID time comes too. And after this, I'm like I come to USA and start like this process for like LFA. And when I'm like I joined to LFA, I have the loss too. But to be honest, like this two loss for me is the like turn one key in my career, and I become better like MMA fighter. So when I come here, I start training a lot, like strike, and I'm lost a little bit like my natural like it's my natural thing. I'm grappling. So and in the same time, like I'm good in grappling. I'm start become like good in strike. But it, like we talk about MMA. So I need like put everything together. So after like my last loss, I'm like, okay, I just stop like I need to be like good in everything. Like MMA is about that. You don't need to be like 10 but 3 here, like 10 in strike and 3 in grappling. This doesn't work.
Yeah.
You need to be like I talk to like sometimes I play around. I'm like I need to be like minimal like 7 in everything. So I need to be like a good like degree. How do you say like here when the people go for the college, it's high school. They have
High
like
college degree,
yeah yeah. Like
diploma.
you need to be like yes and everything. So like for me, I need to be like B and everything. We talk about 7 because in Brazil it's like 1 to 10. So and it's cool. So this is like what happened after my last defeat. I'm like, okay, I need like fix something and I watch and watch again. It's about MMA, so I need like mix my game. I know I can do that. I do well at the gym. Now I need to be like confident on that. Like so I think this is like what's happened and like after my last like defeat and I can so like what's happened with good eyes.
After those two defeats, you got two wins in a row, very impressive wins, and then at that point, did you actually believe that you were going to get the call to Dana White's Contender Series, and what was the reaction when you did eventually hear you were going to be
To be
competing?
yeah, to be honest, like when you fight, I'm like, UFC is your goal. To be in UFC, like for me, is my first goal. I have like a lot goals. I have like for like short like things, like and for long too. So I think about like this all the time when I fight outside the UFC. But like we try make the no white contender series, but doesn't work. And that point, when I talk with my manager, like, okay, don't have like more spot for you and Dana White like contender series 2023. And I'm like, okay, give me fight in LFA. I want fight more. I want keep like busy because my goal is like go to UFC and go there like ready to UFC. So like make me like give me fights. And then one day he called me like 4 days before the fight because one the ladies we fight and like the night content series she get like she do like her pregnancy like test and the fight week and she figured it out she's pregnant.
Wow.
So this yeah, this is why they call me. I'm like, okay, Johnny, you can make your weight and like this is like Thursday and you can make your weight like Monday. I'm like, yes, I can. And when he started talk about like the dates, I'm like, okay, if I make weight like Monday, I will fight Tuesday. Like Tuesday, just the noise container series have Tuesday. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
give me the contract. I will make my weight. So this what happened. Like so, and that time, no, the noise container series like fight for me. So I don't expect for that at all. But I have a lot of hope to join UFC. I don't know how. I just wait for my time, and when like they send me this fight, I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Was that Dana White's Contender Series fight your most short notice fight? Because 4 days was not a lot of time to prepare.
Yes, 4 days. But I'm like, I always training. I never stop. I always in shape. My weight never like so high. So this is how like I prepare like myself for everything for life. So I always prepare for like for deal with everything. So when I come to USA, this is promise I did for myself. I need to be ready for fight anytime. So I don't know when the first time I come to USA, I don't know how long I will stay here. So I'm like, anytime can pop up like a fight. I want to be like ready for that. And right now in UFC, I keep with the same mentality. I'm waiting for fight anytime. Something happen, like they call me, I will accept the fight.
That's another big respectable thing for a UFC fighter. Always ready for that call and to be able to step in on short notice. But your next fight hopefully will not be on short notice. You did mention you wanted to fight the former title challenger, Lauren Murphy. Um, what do you think about this fight, and what caught your eye to Lauren Murphy specifically as your next opponent?
To be honest, like I always like follow like my lady my girls like division, like in my division. So I call out her because she like, oh, I want fight in the summer. She call out one lady have fight already. I'm like, wow, I'm here. I want fight this summer too. You're free, I'm free too. And of course all respect for her. Former like she fight for the belt back the time, I think 2 3 years ago, and she don't know anymore in the rank. This is why I'm like, why not both like outside the rank. She like passed for like hard time. We have a like she has a injury and things like that, but she's a good grappling. She's good, like she's tough opponent. I want this fight because I want to test myself. I come for UFC for that. So why not test with like one big name? She again, all respect for her. She's black belt in jiu-jitsu, me too. And I would love to have this fight.
One thing I will say about Laura Murphy, she might be unranked right now, but her last fight with Jessica Andrade, she was number 4 in the women's
Hmm.
flyweight division. So
Yeah.
basically, if you are able to beat Lauren Murphy in your
Mhm.
next fight, that's a top 5 win in the women's flyweight division this early on in your career potentially.
Yes, yes. But like I talked to you, and like in 2 years, I want to be in the top 15. So I need to like make good movement, and it's a good opportunity. Not just about like think about rank right now. I know who I am and where I am right now. I just like have like my first fight in UFC, but think about that like who we will fight with her, and they have rank right now. All the ladies in the rank right now have fight schedule. So she called one lady, she in the rank, but she have fight schedule. She will fight soon.
Yeah.
So right now she and like she talk about I don't know if somebody talk about retirement or like I don't know,
She
but
said she wanted at least one more fight in the UFC, maybe two, and then she said she wanted to call it a career.
yeah. So it's hard for her right now. Think about like back to the rank. You know what I mean? So maybe she needs to start think about like fight with me.
Yeah. So if you are able to get this Lauren Murphy matchup, obviously you want the summer. It sounds like she wants the summer as well. So let's say everything does go to plan. You're able to beat Lauren Murphy this summer. How many more fights after that would you like by the end of 2024?
I will be ready for fight like one more time, like by the end, like 2024. If UFC need me, I will be like ready for fight again. Of course, I want like this one. The thing like they asked me after my 301 fight, and I talk like, yeah, I want to be like busy. Like fight is like my work. Like I love fight. So if I'm like have like no injury, if like no like time for like rest. If the commission don't give me like nothing like that, I'm ready for fight again. I will be like myself like ready for fight again, like the end of the year for sure.
If it was up to you in a 1 year timeline, how many fights would you like to have every year in the UFC? If of course you're not injured, you're not hurt, and you're able
Uh-huh.
to compete
Three times. Three
three
times.
times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good activity in the UFC for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. And for fighters too, like I say to you, like I come from one sport I fight all the time. I
Yeah.
know it's different. We have a lot of damage and like everything, but like I'm in one position. Like I think all the fighters right now, we know how to train. We train smart. We know like about like recovery. We have like I'm UFCPI right now today. So like I have opportunity to come here, like train, like do my recovery, do my thing. So like for that, for keep me like ready for fight again. So why not fight again?
hmm Um, when it comes to your next fight, when it comes to your past fights, who are some of the main people that have helped you along the way when it comes to training, coaching, and things like that? Who helps you the most?
Oh, for sure. Like the people's in my gym, my team, like Rafael Cordeiro, Chris Cyborg, Hey Elbow, like the three people's like since I come to like USA, they helped me a lot. They developing like my MMA games a lot. So I'm so grateful like for these three people's like in my life for sure.
And outside of fighting, I know we've obviously been talking fighting a lot today, your past fights, your future fights.
Uh-huh.
But when you're not talking about fighting, when you're not training, when you're not competing, what does Dione Barbosa like to do in her free time?
I like running. Yeah, it's like really therapy for me. I like running. I like do things outside. I like go to walking. I like puzzle a lot. Yeah, puzzling a lot. And that's it. Like watching like TV show, but most of the time I'm like puzzling and watch something or running. This is my outside thing.
What's the biggest like most amount of pieces on a puzzle you've ever completed?
Like we try like make every single like week 1,000
Wow,
piece. Yeah, because we now we have like a big table. Probably I will still like increase, but I did like 2,000 one time.
wow,
Yeah, but people help me, of course. We
yeah,
do like together with friends. But right now, like weekly, we do like 1,000 puzzles.
wow. If like obviously if you could choose anybody in UFC history, a legend from the past, a current fighter maybe, um, what would be your like absolute dream fight to have in the UFC? Like a legend from a long time ago for right now.
So, like I fight or like
Yeah,
see fight?
for you,
I
for you.
fight them. For me, I would love to fight Valentina one day. Like for me, like she's a beast. I'm like I can tell like I love her skill, like the mentality. See her like coaching like the tough too. So like I'm like, yeah, this would be fun fight. This is like one fight I want like to do like for sure.
Um, Speaking of Valentina Shevchenko, is she your favorite? Like, if you're watching women's MMA, is she your favorite female MMA fighter? And if not, who would that be?
I love to watch it like she's my friend, but I love to watch her like Chris Cyborg. I love
Yeah,
to watch her. Aldana is one of the fights I'm like I really like to watch.
yeah.
Irene Aldana. And of course Rosie. I like to see how like smart she is. I think this is like females like three.
Yeah, they're all very exciting. They've all had
Uh-huh.
some pretty legendary careers for sure.
Yes, yes.
Now talking about their legendary careers, what are your career goals as an MMA fighter in the UFC? Do you want people to look back at your career as a former UFC champion, the greatest of all time, women's flyweight? What is your goal by the end of your career? How do you want the fans to look at it, and what do you want them to say?
Yeah, of course I want like the belt. I want the title. I think for everybody like have like go join to UFC and really want something like with like sport. I want the belt for sure. And but of course it's about like journey. I want to do like a really good like I want like send to people's like good message. And that's it. I want like to be like a good fighter, good person, like and think about like in the same person. I don't want like people talk about like oh, you fighter, like your personal, like when you fight with like this kind of person, like kind of personage, how to say like character, like it's different like things. No, I'm just like the same person, like inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I don't like do things just like for promote fight. I'm like I want to be myself all the time. And I want like pass this message for a good message for everybody like watch me, but of course yeah I want like my belt to be like champion but a good champion and make people's like inspiring like and me I want to inspire like people's like people's from like my hometown from my country people's here like girls here I want like inspiring people's so this is my goal in UFC.
Has anybody already came up to you and said that they have been inspired to maybe compete in MMA because of you?
Yes, a lot like I receive like good message about like how I like I spirit like uh girls like my daughter you spurn my daughter like I love to watch you fight and I'm teach a lot too so like all my students like look me sometimes I'm like I'm superhero I'm like oh my gosh I'm no superhero but like yeah I have this like inside my house like my niece she really like I really like inspire her she look like I'm no like human sometimes I'm like hold on I'm human but it's nice to see it, to see that, and it's like it's just motivating me like a lot to be better, better and better, and do my job like in the best way.
That's about it for me. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans that are watching at home and to possibly your future opponent, Laura Murphy, this summer?
No, I just want to like say thank you for you, for everybody like watch me, support me, like follow me in the social media. I love what I do. I really want like inspiring people, like motivate people, like do your best. Doesn't matter like how you feel, like just try, do like do your first step, try do your best all the time for my future like opponent let's do it Lauren let's do it I'm like I would love to fight with you it's an honor for me I will be happy to share the octagon with you And I think both like have the same passion. Like she teach too. She's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do like that. Let's have a little bit fun inside the octagon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dione
Thank
Barbosa,
you.
for your time and for your thoughts and everything like that. We'll do it again sometime for sure.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for open space for me, for like for talk about MMA. For it's so important for us. So I'm so nice. Nice to meet you, and like thank you for everything.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you, Dione.